Well, looks like Erik ten Hag is gonna hate to dethrone Harry Maguire of the captaincy of Man United. This is one of the huge stories that all of us have been waiting in for, and even if it's still in speculation, trust me, it's gonna happen. Ten Hag cannot allow to go into a second season with a captain who cannot obviously tick all the boxes of what the captain is supposed to be doing at the club. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys, and where you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that I do upload in here on a daily. Now let's see close to 300 likes. Smash on this video, and obviously we are talking Fred Rodriguez looking out for a deal out of Man United, and then Donny van de Beek exploring options to see to it that he is really loaned out of the club of Manchester United. So don't forget to subscribe because we want to hit 15,000 subscribers on this channel. Let's rock and roll and see how everything is going to pan out here onto this channel. Let's start it off with Fabrizio Romano via the court offside has gone ahead to reiterate his earlier words on Harry Maguire's meeting with Erik ten Hag, and he said Harry Maguire will hold talks with Erik ten Hag in the next days. Obviously, he has not been able to hold talks with Erik ten Hag. Reason is simple: he has not returned to the training as he was part of the England national team, and all of those players that are really or that have been really taking part into the international break are expected to return next week and join the club of Man United as we prepare to play our first preseason game with Leeds in, I think, is it Oslo? That is it. So the talks are really pending because Harry Maguire has not yet reported to Carrington, but next week he's going to hold extensive talks with Erik ten Hag, and one of the things we expect ten Hag to tell him face to face when they really meet is Harry Maguire is set to officially lose the captaincy armband at Manchester United this week, even if he stays up. Bruno Fernandes looks likely to get the captaincy. Now, that's what I've told you, that Ten Hag is going to hold talks with Harry Maguire, and one of the most important things are Ten Hag is first going to tell him that you are losing your captaincy at Manchester United. And this is one of those things that has gone ahead to keep him at Man United for so long, because he's ever bragging that I'm a Manchester United captain. If at all you know how big the brand of the club of Manchester United is, especially when it comes to the UK community, it really gives you lots and lots of privileges, and obviously that is a huge respect that we'll never want to lose. And to me, looks like Ten Hag has gone ahead to find out that maybe this is one of those things that is really keeping Harry Maguire the club of Man United, and if at all we take the armband off him, he will really surrender his stay at Man United and look for another club. And secondly, one of those things that have gone ahead to really see Ten Hag obviously make this decision is how good Bruno Fernandes captained United to the victories really reached at last season. I really believe that winning a Carabao Cup finale was a very good triumph. Playing in an FA Cup finale, it was a triumph, and finishing third in the Premier League was a triumph because of the squad that we had that was not all that full of quality, bloated, but few players could come in through to obviously do exactly what the first team players were going to do at the club of Manchester United. That is Harry Maguire, and I think that is going to be the genesis of the departure from Manchester United. So that means Erik ten Hag is laying a ground so that he obviously dislodges Harry Maguire out of the club of Manchester United, and that is going to happen. Like it or hate it, Ten Hag cannot keep a player at the club of Manchester United who can't get into his first team. If at all he wants to take the likes of Donny van de Beek off, Anton Martial, Jordan Sancho, the Freds, who can obviously get into his team because they cannot offer him exactly what he wants, what of a player who can't really get into the first team? So to me, it's a very huge move in the right direction, as it's going to really back up what Erik ten Hag did to David De Gea. The ruthlessness they applied on David De Gea should be extended to Harry Maguire to leave the club. I've seen people calling it to be extended to Anton Martial, but For Anton Martial, it's not that he's not fit to play in an Erik ten Hag system. He's fit to play, and he has shown it that every time we are playing alongside with him, leading the line, we play better. But injuries have gone ahead to short-live his time at Manchester United. That is it. That is it. So, when it comes to Anthony Martial, you cannot compare him with Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire has gone ahead to cost us very many points. He can't fit into the style of play of Erik ten Hag. He's slow, poor game reading, cannot pass the ball as expected by Erik ten Hag. He's below the pecking order of Rafael Varane, Lisandro Martinez, Luke Shaw, and Victor Lindelof. So he's a fifth choice centre-back, and Ten Hag is looking on to get on what we call another right-hand centre-back. After missing out on Kim Min-jae, Ten Hag wants Disasi from Monaco. And you now know my plan. Sorry, my line of argument. It's simple that these other players you're talking about, let it be Fred. Fred came in through and obviously offered what he had to offer in the games of Man United. That is it. Let it be Scott McTominay. So before they extend the ruthlessness to Fred, Scott McTominay, Donny van de Beek, Jadon Sancho, Anton Martial, it has to really go next to Harry Maguire. As they did it to David De Gea, we want to say Harry Maguire, get out of this club as up. Let this club get like 30 or 40 million pounds. See to it that they boost up our next signing, which is going to be a midfielder. Remember, after Mason Mount, Onana and Højlund are next, then United is going to stretch up to get in a player of a stature of Sofyan Amrabat. And that's the plan of Erik ten Hag. And how can he execute the deal of Sofyan Amrabat? By selling Harry Maguire, Fred. Those two can really get in other defenders that we really want at the club of Manchester United. And we can as well go ahead and obviously use some of that money to really sign in more players. Because for Sofyan Amrabat, we can get him at like 30 million pounds. And we can have a balance of close to 30 million pounds that we can deposit to Monaco as an upfront fee. Then the balance of 15 million pounds will be paid later in add-ons, as they are calling in for 45 million pounds for Disasi, and Erik ten Hag will go into happily get in 5 players this summer. But the most important bit of it all is who is going to be the next captain of Man United. Obviously, it's gonna be Bruno Fernandes, and trust me, you are going to see this when you are playing. When you're playing Leeds, when you're playing Lyon, before you travel to America, you'll see it when you're playing Arsenal, Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund, and even when we return to play the likes of Rennes and Atletico Bilbao, you're going to see that Bruno Fernandes is going to be the captain. Ten Hag cannot keep a captain of the club who cannot get into his team for a very long time, because he knows that will be drawing what we call a very bad yardstick at the club of Manchester United. If at all, Harry Maguire had been one of the greats, like you saw Wayne Rooney when the time Louis van Gaal came in through, he kept him the captain, though he couldn't get into his first starting 11. But we all knew that Rooney was a leader, respect was there, and he did it all. But how can Harry Maguire be the captain of Casemiro? How can he be the captain of Varane? Players have gone ahead to win Champions Leagues with Real Madrid. How can he captain Marcus Rashford? He cannot captain those players. Andrew Onana coming in through, Mason Mount, a Champions League winner, and then a player who has never lifted or led his team to such a success, obviously lift that. I think the son is really having a very credible source as far as this is concerned, and he really wants to see himself really getting there slowly by slowly. That is a side coming in from the Sun, confirming to us that United, or Erik ten Hag, is planning to dethrone Harry Maguire, and obviously it's all going to be Bruno Fernandes, the new captain of Man United. He plays all the games, he's a leader, he takes responsibility, and obviously he backs up the players, and he has not been doing this for the very first time. Remember, before we signed him to Man United at Sporting Lisbon, he was the captain of Sporting Lisbon, and leadership is in him. In other words, you can say he's a born leader. That is it. Now, Fred Fabrizio Romano has told us that Fred has now picked new agents. The new group, as Gabriel Jesus, he could leave Man United as Fulham will bid, but also Saudi clubs want him. Fred is under contract until 2024 at Man United, but understands that playing a more important key role is key now for his future. And obviously he has to make a decision, that's it. And one of those decisions he's supposed to make is leaving Man United and either go to Fulham or go to Saudi Arabia. But he has to really choose money over career. That is it. If he's to go to Saudi Arabia, but he's to choose career over money, I think Fulham will be one of those destinations that he will head to. The big question is Fulham willing to cough the £25 million that United are valuing in Fred Rodriguez? That is it. And I think we should even get like £30 million out of Fred Rodriguez, because the season he had been short of nothing like success at Manchester United. If at all you look at his stats that he put up last season, Fred was one of the midfielders that obviously put us to where we deserve to be. Premier League, 35 games, 2 goals and 2 assists. UEFA Europa League, 1 goal, 1 assist. He played 9 games. And EFL Cup, 1 goal, 1 assist. So it shows you that he had 4 goals and 4 assists in his entire season, meaning that if Fulham are trying to obviously take him to play alongside Paulinho in that midfield, he's really going to be a very good addition to really make them stay in the league. And I believe Fred can become a better player in a team that doesn't have pressure, a team that doesn't call for consistency every time. Because for Fulham, if Fred can play for them 20 solid games, it's enough for them. It's enough for them. Even if he's inconsistent for the other 15 games, no one is going to blame him, because for Fulham, their aim is to stay in the league. It's not like Man United that you need to be consistent week in, week out. As for us, our aim is to win trophies. That is it. So when he goes there, when pressure is really off him, I anticipate he can go obviously get that done in a nick of time. That is Fred Rodriguez for you. Now, lastly, let's talk about Donny van de Beek. Fabrizio Romano via the court offside. He has told us that Donny van de Beek is now exploring options to find a new club this summer. As expected, no contacts are taking place with AS Roma. As things stand, no negotiations despite reports. So, Roma has always been linked to Donny van de Beek, but as it stands, he is not going to go that side. Looks like he's exploring options to find a new club this summer, as expected. We don't know whether it's really going to be a permanent sell all alone with an option to buy, but looks like the days of Donny van de Beek and Man United are really coming to their end. He's in the evening of his career at Man United that has been short of nothing like success. That has been short of success. That's it. He has not even gone ahead to really get part into the Erik ten Hag team, yet he was his former manager at Ajax. Now, we wait and see whether a miracle is going to be uplifted during these preseason games, as Donny van Beek can up his game, and obviously ten Hag will obviously tell him, please, you can stay at the club of Man United. And tomorrow we are coming in through with the match preview of how United is going to line up as we play Leeds down in Oslo, and we anticipate that Erik ten Hag might play Donny van de Beek as a CDM, all a midfield 3 of Fred, Mason Mount and Donny van de Beek as we take on Leeds. And obviously Donny van de Beek will be having a lot of time to prove to the manager that I'm ready to see to it that I can get this job over the line. So guys, your thoughts on Ten Hag dethroning Harry Maguire are welcome in the comment section below. Tell me your thoughts about Fred. Where do you see him go, Saudi Arabia or Fulham? And Donny van de Beek, do you think he's going to pull up a miracle to see to it that he convinces Erik ten Hag to keep him as a player at Man United? All that and more into the comment section below. I remain by the names of Rock and David. Don't forget to subscribe, and I sign out for now. See you later, my lovelies. You people are really great, and may Allah bless you abundantly. Christians, I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Let's subscribe to hit 15,000 subscribers before the end of this month. I'm out.